This winter, Shohei Ohtani brought the allure of a two-way player to MLB's offseason. Meanwhile, the once dominant Jake Arrieta languished in the free agent pool until accepting Philadelphia's best offer. In many ways, MLB The Show 18 has more in common with the oft-dependable Arrieta than the shiny new Ohtani. This year, there's a familiarity to the gameplay that doesn't quite excite as much as it used to. The show's list of improvements lacks the punch some have come to expect from a top-tier game. But like the Phillies, buyers of MLB The Show 18 should know that they are getting a reliable and high-quality product, just maybe not the most alluring one.
The former top prospect, Ahmed Rosario. He struck out swinging in his last trip to the plate. No balls and a strike to count.
That the show's gameplay and atmosphere have never been better is an important declaration to make up front. And that's going all the way back to the PS2 days of the series. Hitting feels a little less frustrating. Once put into play, the ball travels more naturally than previous years, thanks in large part to increased hit variety and more realistic physics. Fielding also seems tighter, with players acting more like their real-life counterparts. Beyond gameplay improvements, there are plenty of nice visual tweaks. Uniforms display more textures, new camera angles and replay effects look great. These changes, along with the MLB Network presentation package, make the Show 18 look more like a TV broadcast than ever before. In fact, this might be the most authentic on-field baseball game ever produced. Commentary, which now includes Mark DeRosa instead of Harold Reynolds, is usually on point.
Back alongside Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as it'll be Brandon Belt getting ready to lead things off here.
However, it feels more disjointed than in the past and never quite captures the fluid cadence of a real broadcast. That said, it is nice that MLB The Show 18 includes more scenario-specific references to past performance and stats. However, outside of these important but minute gameplay changes, the overall package is a little disappointing. That's mainly because there are very few major changes to MLB The Show 18's main offline modes, franchise, and road to the show. Worse, mainstays like season and online franchise mode are gone. Franchise mode is starting to feel like a relic, as nearly all other major sports games have surpassed it in terms of options, features, and innovation. The most noticeable update this year is a redesign of the menu system. Seasons are broken into phases, which help streamline the tasks associated with running an MLB organization. Other minor changes include more dynamic crowds and weather, and an AI that will bench players based on performance. Like franchise mode, the improvements to Diamond Dynasty are small. MLB The Show 18's card collecting mode sticks to the formula established last year. Tiered programs offer rewards for completing various tasks or collections. These prizes now include more usable legends, but also cosmetic items like autographed baseballs and bobbleheads. Those last ones are a little more than a bloated web of unlockables to collect, or purchase with real money. It captures the nostalgic fun of building a baseball card collection, but in the same way, the enjoyment you'll get from Diamond Dynasty depends on how much time and money you're willing to put into it. And lag is an issue right now. If you're playing online, plan on an inconsistent experience. Road to the Show, meanwhile, shakes things up a little more. The biggest change is how your player evolves over time. Instead of spending XP to increase various ratings, these ratings improve automatically based on performance. This change leads to a more organic and streamlined career mode, albeit one with a little less flexibility. Essentially, Road to the Show trades in a bunch of small decisions for a few big ones. You need to balance future potential with current ratings gains. A few other additions are worth mentioning, even if they're not a big deal. The new batting stance creator is a neat technical achievement, but not something most will use frequently. And the 3 included legend teams are fun to play with, especially in local competition. Still, it doesn't quite bring Ohtani-level excitement, simply because the gameplay modes, especially franchise, haven't seen any significant improvements or upgrades. In fact, where Ohtani represents the potential of a dynamic two-way player, MLB The Show 18 fits the mold of a more traditional pitcher who can pitch but not hit. It's very good at one important thing, while other aspects of its game are starting to regress. The strength of the MLB The Show series has always been its authentic gameplay, which traditionally does a fantastic job capturing the essence of baseball. The 2018 version of the show continues that trend, creating the most realistic baseball game to date. However, the nuanced gameplay and visual changes don't quite make up for the big-picture lack of innovation in MLB The Show's core modes, or even replace what was removed from last year's version. For more, check out our Let's Play with Sony Santa Monica with a rundown of this year's new features. And for everything else, stick with us here at IGN.